evolutionary cycles and de-evolutionary cycles can also be interpreted or seen as evolutionary cycles and involutionary cycles. Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome back to Becoming Miraculous. So in our last video, I was talking about how in spiritual and conscious evolution, we go through a wave-like fluctuation because of these levels and that are us building into higher knowledge and awareness. And the evolutionary cycle is like teaching us to know of it with the mind, and the involutionary or de-evolutionary cycle is to integrate this knowledge to make it more of a gnosis, or to make it become gnosis. A lot of people might wonder why we have this wave-like fluctuation when it comes to our spiritual or evolution of consciousness. And for me, I like to perceive it from this perspective. Imagine this. Imagine you've never driven a car in your life, okay? You've never operated any type of machinery. And now I'm going to tell you, you could drive a car by pushing a pedal and turning a wheel. And a motorcycle, you can twist a throttle, turn the bars, and you can drive. Or how about an airplane? You just pull back on this lever and you'll go up and start flying. All right, now you know of it with your mind, but until you actually get in the driver's seat, you don't really know all the ins and outs of it. So in order to be able to get to know all the ins and outs of it, you've got to be able to get behind the driver's seat and practice it, right? So that's the purpose of this de-evolutionary or involutionary stage of awakening and expansion, evolution. Because if I just give you all this information, sure, you might be able to remember it with the mind, but until you can actually go through it yourself and be able to have verified tests and know what works best for you, you don't really know anything. It's just a knowledge with the mind. So another way to look at this would be to think about the first time you drove a car. Okay, we're going to keep using this driving analogy because it works well for this. Now, imagine that you are driving a car your first time. You remember how that was? You're worried about how much gas you're using, how hard to hit the brake, where this person is, where that person is, where's the line. Oh my goodness, everything's going on in your mind, right? Okay, now think about what your mental processes are once you've been driving for a few years. You know, once you already have that knowledge that you know of with the mind and gnosis, to where now these other things that are going on around you, or the movement of how hard you turn the wheel or step on the gas or the brake, is now integrated into just muscle memory. This would be the same perspective from a different angle, if you will. And that's what this whole involutionary and evolutionary wave-like fluctuation is for. It's so that once you get to the peak amount of material that you can retain at the level that you're currently on, you're able to not only learn more of maybe new and exciting different things, but even expand off of the things that you knew before. And another thing that's really beneficial about this evolutionary and involutionary wave-like fluctuation is people who've been on the path for a while, that is of evolution, can look back in their own studies if if they journal or if they have the memory to, and they can perceive one perspective of a teaching or of knowledge that they've acquired, and now look at it from a completely different perspective, because now they have more gnosis, more practice, more integration of this information and knowledge, to where they can see the truth for themselves through this information. Instead of just the plain black and white text on the paper, they get a little bit of color or zest or flavor into it. So I hope this helps you on your path and with your study. Until next time, thank you again.